Hello, hola, bonjour. Welcome to Your Story Matter podcast. I'm your host, Angie Abreu Olivo, and we are here to inspire sustainability and change by creating with purpose. And today's episode is all right. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And have fun with it. Let's do this. Hello guys, welcome to Your Story Matter podcast. I'm Angie, your host, and today's podcast is a little bit different. And I hope you enjoy. Today I'm here in the park. I also just finished shooting card readings for Angie blog. So you can go ahead, I'll leave the links. Maybe perhaps this messages are for you as well, for my listeners. Thank you so much for sharing and listening and subscribing. And I see downloads already from Africa. It's very interesting. I also have New Zealand as well, so I'm kind of excited. Hello. I'm glad these are helping you, and I'm just gonna continue coming here with different content and different people eventually. But for now, I'll just come here, share some healings and some knowledge, share value with you. While also, I'm dealing with my own struggles and my own things in this reality. But I decided that Your Story Matters is going to continue being the same thing, the colonization. And sorry, I'm sitting in this rock near the water, and there's so much geese and ducks, and it's so beautiful. I'll take pictures and I'll put it on social media so you can, while you're listening to this podcast, you can actually feel like you're here too. It's so beautiful. They're like fishing. There's so many of them. When I was doing the card readings as well, there was like mini dogs and mini babies coming around the card readings. It's really beautiful here. I'm grateful. I'm sending you love and healing from nature, from this beautiful view through this voice, through this frequency, because love has it's unlimited, it's finite, and and healing as well. Healing is unlimited, and it doesn't have a timeline or a stop sign, like you gotta stop at this time, like, oh, I'm completely healed. Like, we're not really ever completely healed. There's always something that we always have to heal, and it's life. Things happen, and definitely suppressing hurtful, painful things, it's definitely not the way. Definitely I'm learning that and I'm passing the knowledge to you, okay? It's not good to repress, and it stays in your body. Trauma, pain, and toxic and projection from other people, they're negative and unconscious things, like it just stays in your body. So make sure you protect your energy, okay? Make sure you nurture yourself, and you love yourself, and make sure that you're protecting your energy and healing yourself, okay? And working on yourself. All right, so today I actually wrote it down, what I wanted to speak today to you guys. One of the things, right now I'm wearing Choose Earth. It's from this beautiful campaign that Choose Love and Earthrise Studio started. I really love it. It's supporting indigenous community, indigenous leaders, and people who are right now in the front lines in Brazil. Like, they're struggling right now with a lot of injustices, and that's just Brazil. It's like there's so many indigenous communities that need our voice, for us to also amplify their voice. Okay, so another thing where I'm suggesting people who are listening to this, and I also said it on my YouTube channel as well. You can go listen to it as well, but I'm also at IG. I'm talking about this on Instagram as well, that if you are somebody who has influence, okay, whatever that means to you, if you have a large following, okay, a large community, or not even if you don't have that many community, it doesn't matter. The point is that your actions does matter in the algorithm of social media. So make sure that if you are someone with influence and have privilege and stuff like that, like, you know, right now the BIPOC community are suffering this it's kind of like cleansing or injustice. It's cyberbullying, I call it. I think it's Instagram cyberbullying, but that's just my opinion. I've seen too many indigenous communities right now dealing with their BS and their threats and trauma thing that they're going to delete their account if they post whatever. Like, it's a free country. And also, knowledge must be shared. That's why I'm like focusing on that a lot, is that education matters, especially now that we have to change everything. Decolonization is important. Consciousness, working on a spirituality, literally, like, we didn't taught all of this, like healing our chakra and our traumas and things like that. Like, those are important in order to continue surviving and being in a community, in a connection with nature, because we're not separate from nature. We are with nature. See, you hear that, geese? Yes. I don't know if anybody has done podcasts before on the forest, but hey, there's always a first one, right? Maybe I'll start doing this more often. It feels really good to, like, talk to you, voice this out, and make sure that, you know, things are heard and things are, you know, so yeah. So that's it. Like, make sure that you like, and then you comment, and then you save their content, okay? If you liked it and something that, you know, if you're not really sharing it, maybe you're sharing it later in your story or reposting it, whatever, like, make sure you save it, because it helps that community, okay? It opens like this kind of like a spider web. Let's say, like, they're trying to be suppressed by a algorithm, right? And all of a sudden you do all these actions for them. Oh, that's my that's my timer that I gotta go. but yeah, just make sure that just that action that you do that, and make sure it makes sure that community is able to amplify their content now and work on their on amplifying more their voices and things that are happening to them, or educate their communities and other people, okay? So make sure you do that. Now, I hear like a dog or something. Okay, now, another thing that I wanted to kind of come here, this is for the Conscious Collective and working on their, you know, it's for everybody, but I'm having this sense where I didn't want to talk about the vaccine, really. It's just something that is bugging me. I did take the first dose, and that's something that I wanted to leave here, and I'm going to talk about it more on my blogs and on YouTube channel, is that we still have work to do. Even if we take the vaccine or not, even if you're fully vaccinated, there's still anti-racism education, there's still decolonization, there's still on toxic traumas and things that we need to let go of and still work on. This doesn't avoid the work. You don't just get, like we have 2 years of really traumatic experience that we passed through with this world pandemic, right? And we can't ignore that and repress it or pretend and fake around and fake until you make it. That doesn't work, especially now. Like, things needs to be changed and things need to we work on, and heavy work needs to be done, like deep healing. You understand? Because a lot of us, our traumas, like if we were suppressing it, came through this 2 years, right? Like being in lockdown and the curfew and all these things, like all this, so that's something that we cannot ignore, okay? So mental health is very, very important after you're vaccinated or whatever you want to call it. You're not vaccinated. I'm not judging or comparing or doing anything to anybody. All I'm saying is that vaccinated or not, you still have work to do. You still have deep work to do. We all do, okay? Don't avoid this work because, you get distracted over things or other things. Like, this is important work because it will help you make better decisions and also help your communities, build that equity, because that's what we're trying to do, right? Inequality is not sustainable anymore, right? Linear economy. That's something that I'm working on as well, is that, if we are going to change into sustainability, greener spaces, and, changing the education is important. circular education, anti-racism education, decolonization education, healing, spirituality, like really deep, changing history, changing books, like actually acknowledging what really happened and not lie, like all these history books and all this stuff that is happening. So yeah, there's a lot of work. There's a lot, but doesn't mean that we just gonna like bypass it and like just go the easy way. It's the hard way, unfortunately, but I don't know, it needs to be collective together, you know, and no competition, like let go of that, because that's capitalism, and it's dreading, because we all have to work together, everybody. All right, so that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, so heal during moon cycles, okay, to remove toxic of unconscious stuff. So if anything that was in this vaccine or not, whatever conspiracy, whatever they're saying that it's not true, I don't care. I just know that there's fucked up shit that they can still do, because if they're able to do it in the external world, right, they're able to do it right in front of us on social media, on media or anything, they're able to get out of fucked up shit that they have done. Like white supremacy is fucked, right? Like you know this, right? Like this whiteness is so toxic, and then colonialism practices that are encouraged by religion, like Catholic or capitalism, like patriarchy, is so like all this stuff is toxic, guys. So that's what I'm saying, is that we have work to do, and that's another thing where I wanted to suggest here that we all, you know, spiritual beings that are being working on the healers and stuff like that, we really are encouraging you to use moon cycles. Moon cycles are very, very intense, high frequency. So you're able to, there's people like girls, I guess, waterboarding with like a stick thing and just pushing a board. Some of them are standing, some of them are sitting. Okay, so yeah, use moon cycles. Yes, there you go. Moon cycles are, and these are ladies. There you go. Thank you, universe. Got the message. Feminine energy, you know, we heal through the womb, okay? And either you had kids or you didn't have kids, like your healing is so important for the collective, for everyone else, because we are all connected. So if women and moon cycles are able to do little moon rituals and stuff like that and remove toxic and unconscious stuff that they have, you're also helping a lot, you know, at least in terms of the collective and yeah, the deep work. Okay, so I would definitely suggest everyone, like if you're passed through some traumas or went through some fucked up shit, like really focus on look at the charts, look at things where when is the next full moon, new moon, or stuff like that. Like really focus on those things, and on those days make sure that you do healing, deeper healing, and give everything to Gaia, give everything to Earth, give it to the moon, give it to, you know, like let it go out of your body. Okay, don't repress pain and suffering, because we're all doing it's a normal thing in life. It's you know, it's constant. But the one thing that you can control is how you react, how you proceed, how you heal, how you care of yourself, how you use self-compassion and you know, help others, and all those things count, okay? So I encourage you guys that absolutely. All right, and the last thing that I wanted to say is about, this is for creatives and conscious creatives and artists and stuff like that. Okay, so procrastination. Procrastination is there when you look for external validation and comparing. Okay, so one thing that I'm getting a lot, that's another thing, is like, oh man, I'm dealing with this, like what's happening within, you know, especially if you have projects that you have finished, if you have writing stuff, or you have commitments that you have to write, and let's say you start looking at other people, oh, but other writers can do it better, like you start the comparison and looking at other external things. This is where procrastination comes from. It doesn't really exist. We create it. Yeah, let that sink in. I know. I've been doing like many meditations about this. I'm like, it's us. It's within. We have to ask ourselves, what is it that we're doing that is making us not continue? You know, it could be a syndrome or something like that. Like, make sure that if you feel like you're procrastinating, because I know for writers, and we get that as stigmatization right now, that they use it against us because, you know, we do heavy work as well. it's not something that it's everyone like can do, but we still do it because we love it so much. And I'm talking to you writers and artists and painters, that you're dealing with that procrastination, especially now, like everything is so like, okay, so we just went 2 years of a thing and now everything has to go back to kind of normal, but not really, because that's fucked up if we do. And how can we make it better? And like now you're like, okay, I have a physical job, but also I love to do my writing, or let's say you are full-time writing, but now you're having some procrastination problems. So I'm telling you right now, don't look at external validation. Any external thing or anything external, and then stop comparing with other writers or other artists or other painters, other designers. Like, please focus on you. Each of one of you are meant to be doing something in the planet, and maybe it could be similar to other people, but they still don't have your spicy sauce. Okay, think of it like that. You have a spicy sauce or a very good sauce that can be added to the mix of healing nature, healing a planet, and working on changing the system and stuff like that. Okay, so make sure that your sauce doesn't get like, kind of stale. Stagnation sucks, so something that I'm learning to overcome, guys, and that's what I wanted to pass it to you. Okay, I love you, love you, love you, love you. Okay, go at your own pace. We're all trying to figure shit out. Like, be kind. Okay, so don't force anything. Like, everything is timeless. Like, time is an illusion. Once you start understanding this, you're like, oh fuck, like, you do have control of your reality, because we still have to deal with this reality, right? But you can also choose to do other stuff outside of, like, like, for example, create boundaries. That's really important, and make sure of your self-care and prioritize yourself and your mental health and stuff like that. And also, make sure that you're creating this sustainability and not just for yourself, but for others too. Like, have that mentality, because it's a good mentality. It's a kindness, it's an empathy mentality, and it's beautiful, because that's what we're meant to be doing. We're part of nature, not separated from it. Okay, and that's it. If the education that you're not getting from school or whatever, and it's not really satisfying you, like, make sure that you do your own self-education. There's so many resources, there's so many things that you can do, your own research, your own thing. Make sure you research. Okay, and that's it, guys. I hope this helped you, and yeah, just make sure that you're true to yourself, you keep your authenticity, and then you keep your integrity, and connect with nature again. Ask nature to heal you, help your self heal, and don't think that because you're vaccinated that all of this is just gonna go. No, that's not how it works. And we know that it's fucked up what they're doing, but that's up to us too. Like, and we know there's other vaccines that are going to come soon, right? Like the Alzheimer's and all of this, right? Because they know that it could actually potentially trigger our Alzheimer's from this vaccine. But I'm not letting them control me or control the outcome of my life. I'm no longer living in this fearful thing. Like, I'm done. That too, guys. Be fearless. Do what you got to do. We don't have that much time here, There's not long. It's short. So I hope this helped you, and I'm in the process of publishing the book soon, so that's something that I'm getting ready for, but I'm not going to advertise it or talk about it so much, because every time I talk about it, something happens, so I'm just gonna I'll tell you when it's published, and you enjoy it. Okay, I love you. Have a beautiful week, beautiful day, and I'll see you next episode. Bye. Oh yes, be kind. Okay, be kind to yourself, to your mind, be kind to earth anytime you can. Be kind to your communities, to other people. Make sure that those who are marginalized, that now they're being targeted on social media or outside or in their businesses or something, that you make sure you stand up for them. Okay, make sure you do that. We're all here connected, and we're all here to help each other. Okay, I love you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.